Hello, Veronica Spriggs here. Today we're going to be looking at a digital photography tip. What we're going to do today is create a porcelain skin effect, and here is the effect. This technique is actually very simple. Let me show you how I've done this. The very first thing we want to do is come down here to our adjustments layers, and I'm going to create a new solid color adjustment layer. And I want my adjustment layer to be white, so I'm going to go ahead and toggle that in my color selector. Select OK. Now we're going to change this to soft light. And what we're going to do now is go into our style panel by choosing blending options. And we're going to go to blend if. What I want to do is split my slider, the lowest slider, by holding down my Alt key. Now I'm going to slide this all the way over, and you can see that it's already created a difference. Now that that's complete, click OK. Now we're going to duplicate this layer several times. I think I'm going to duplicate it 5 times. We're going to do that by Control J. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now I have 5 layers of my solid fill color. Now I'm going to group these layers by simply, your top layer is already selected. I'm going to scroll down and hit my Shift key and click the bottom layer. Now you can see that all the layers have been selected. I'm going to pull my layers tablet out. Okay, now you can see that all the layers are selected. What I'm going to do now is Control G to group my layers. Now using my mask tool, I'm going to create a mask, then Control I to invert the mask. Now we're ready to get started with our effect. Before I begin painting on my mask, I'm going to use my pen tool to select around my image. And the reason I'm doing that is because I don't want to deal with cleaning up the spillover afterwards. So very quickly, I'm just going to use my pen tool to create my selection. Now that I'm finished forming my path, I'm going to turn my path into a selection. Control, Shift, and Enter. Now I have my object selected. What I'm going to do to avoid any harsh lines is I'm going to go to Select, Modify, and I'm going to feather the edge of my selection, and I have my radius set at 2. Now we're ready to begin painting. I'm going to use brush size. My brush is set at 300. My hardness is set at 0. So I'm using a very soft brush. And I'm going to begin painting on my layer mask. I'm going to deselect. Now we've got our effect created. If you feel that it's a little too harsh, you just want to go ahead and lower the opacity a bit. Play with your slider until you get the effect that you want to achieve. You can also, if you think that it's a little too much or a little too harsh, you can play with your layers and see exactly how porcelain you want the effect to be by toggling these layers on or off. I'm going to just lower the opacity of the last layer so that we're somewhere in between. And that's it. This is a very dramatic effect, and as you can see, it's really easy to recreate. So I hope you try this one and let us know what you think. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next time.